Welcome everybody. Today we got some break-in prison news allegedly. The reason why I say that is because the intel is coming from an inmate and it can't be fact-checked. So we're left to assume, but I'm going to give you my 2 cents if I think it's true or not. But the story is on Larry Nassar. For 18 years, he was the team doctor for the United States women's national gymnastics team, where he used his position to exploit and sexually assault hundreds of young athletes. Now, so far, this guy's life in prison has been extremely rough. We just covered a story not too long ago about him getting stabbed 10 times. He survived. In the article that I'm going to be reading to you today, I don't know if the situations took place before or after the stabbing. If I were to guess, it was before. Anyways, let's get right into it. If you enjoyed this type of content, all things lockup and crime related, then this is where you want to be. Hit that like, subscribe, notification bell before you leave, and check out my playlist with many more videos for you to start watching today. Now, the title of the article I'll be reading today is Ex-Gymnastics Dr. Larry Nassar allegedly pays gangbangers for protection with sexual favors. Is that actually something that happens? Yeah, it is. It says disgraced sports doctor Larry Nassar relied on gangbangers for protection, paying them in cash and sexual favors while he rotted inside a Florida federal prison, an inmate claimed. This inmate claimed around June 2021, Nassar, 60 years old, was seen going into a cell at the federal penitentiary in Sumter County, Florida, with gang members, according to Grace Pinson, an inmate who did time with Nassar at the high-security prison. The inmate goes on to say that the cell had its doors shut and windows covered while men were inside, which is done either when inmates are having sex or doing drugs. That's false. I mean, yeah, those are 2 definite things that can be done in a cell with the windows blocked. Or unblocked, doesn't matter, man. You look in the wrong cell, you'll see real quick. Some people don't care about pillows. But there's many other things that could be going on in that cell. Look, I was in a prison where the CO, I'm not going to go into too much depth and detail, but I've told the story numerous times. COs go into other inmate cells, put the pillow in the window, and they're not doing nothing other than business. Not doing drugs or having sex. Maybe they're just chatting about the next moves or maybe kicking out some cash. All kinds of things could be going on in a cell that you can't see in. But I will say this, someone like Nassar going into a cell full of gang members and they put the pillow up, it is very extremely questionable. Now, Pinson, who was giving up all these details, was sentenced to 20 years in prison for sending a threatening letter to the then President George W. Bush. You can't be threatening old Bush, man. He's gonna bring the oil trucks. But you gotta really take into consideration, are we gonna really believe someone who's sending threatening letters to a president? He ain't got much common sense, does he? No. If I were to guess, man, this could all very well possibly be lies. I mean, some of this could have been happening, but he could be reaching. Like I said, anything could be done inside a cell when you can't see in it. Pinson continues describing Nassar as a scared little church mouse who only left his housing unit in prison to visit the chapel. Pinson said they would chat it up on a regular basis, including topics pertaining to his hired muscle. He wished he didn't need those guys. In some ways, what they expected of him was way worse than the idea of being stabbed and killed. This is what's tricky about the story, because everything that Pinson's saying about Nassar is stuff that happens in prison. And it fits the criteria, especially with him having that kind of paperwork. If guys don't kill him, they'll extort him for money and sexual favors. That's a guarantee. Pinson believes they were forcing Nassar to do sexual favors as payback for violating little girls, to humiliate and degrade Larry Nassar, making Larry Nassar suck your dick in prison. It's a twisted way of paying him back for what he did to those women. The paid protection, however, wasn't enough to keep Nassar safe from a near-fatal attack last year. Okay, so all this was taking place before he even got stabbed. Paying for protection, sucking maybe, possibly, and they didn't even deliver. They let him get shanked up. He's getting worked from every angle if this is all true. People are probably waking up like, damn, man, I can't wait to get next to old Nassar, sweet Nassar today. Who knows what kind of tricks we can pull off on him? I can guarantee people are waking up happy that he's in the block. Now, this is the kicker. The wicked doctor has since been transferred to a federal prison in Lewisburg, Pennsylvania. Bureau of Prison spokesman Scott Taylor declined to comment on Pinson's claims. Nassar declined an interview request as well. But Jose Rojas, the former president for the Coleman Prison Officers Union, who retired in December, questioned Pinson's jailhouse tale. claiming that Nassar was held in a dropout unit that is considered to be safer than general population. Well, then how did he get stabbed 10 times? Second of all, just because it's a dropout unit doesn't mean that those ex-gangbangers didn't join up and make a new gang in there. So who knows what's going on in these PC units. Like I said, if he got stabbed 10 times, then obviously people can get to him. And if they can stab him, then they can probably, before that happened, persuade him to do sexual favors. Who knows? It's a possibility. I don't know the layout of the place, how everything's ran. You know, every prison's different. But one thing stays the same. You go to prison with the same kind of stuff that this guy has. If you don't get killed, then they're going to take advantage of him in any which other way they can. Unless he's put into a cell block, maybe like 5-man cell block, and they all got very similar charges and nobody wants to hurt each other. Yeah, sometimes they luck up in the system and get somewhere like that. But judging from what's happening to him so far and what kind of crimes he has, you know, if I were to bet, and this is a tough one for me, but if I were to bet, I would say that Pinson's story is probably very true. Just my 2 cents, man. You know, I mean, go watch Shawshank Redemption. Remember the movie theater scene, man? They made him get on his knees and he pulled out the blade. He's like, yo, you're going to do this right now? Right? Well, those type of situations are happening still to this day. And I believe, strongly believe, he has went through these type of situations. I mean, when your life is truly at risk, you know that that person's going to kill you. What would you do? I know everybody in the comment section saying, man, I ain't doing that. I'll die. I can guarantee at least 70 to 80% of y'all is going to probably break down. Hands and knees. Me personally, chop me up and feed me to the fishes, buddy. Anything going between these lips, I don't care what you do afterwards. It's being ripped to shreds. And for anybody that doesn't know, Nassar was sentenced to hundreds of years in prison. It's going to be one long, horrifying ride for him. But that's a wrap, ladies and gentlemen. Just a quick little update on Larry Nassar. Stay tuned. Y'all know I got plenty more content coming your way. Not to mention some new apparel designs, t-shirts and hats, stuff like that. At the moment, I don't have my merchandise linked to the channel because I was doing a little facelift. Speaking of facelifts, my second channel. I know I mention it all the time and I haven't done anything yet, but it's happening very, very soon. Hilarious, dark, sad, whatever kind of emotion you can think of that's went through on this channel is going to be highlighted and put on that one into Reels. If you want to find the channel, it'll be linked in the description below. It's titled 23 in 1. Like I said, there's no content on it, so it probably won't pop up, but soon enough it will. But until the next time, as always, y'all be easy, be safe, and more importantly than anything, stay free.